everyone, it's Kayla here for Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for today's soap making video. Today I am using wild sage and cedar wood from Off of Scent Method, and this is another one of the fragrances that I got in with the intention of turning it into a perfume and decided it just didn't have that wow factor for a perfume, but I thought it would be really nice in soap. So let's go and see how I make wild sage and cedar. Let's go. Okay, so let's get on with making this soap. As you can see, I've got all of my colours set up ready to go down here. We're going to start off, as I do with all my soaps, mixing the lye water into the oils, and then once that's done, we will separate it out for these colours. Alright, now that we are mixed up just to emulsion, I am going to start separating out for the colours. In my main batch, I'm going to have some of this one, which is, if I remember right, green sage mica. I've poured off enough to do a drop and also to do some piping with that one. And in here I have got some Sahara. I wanted to say that wrong. I wanted to say it like a name of a character in a book I've been reading. Anyway, we've got some Sahara in there. I'm only pouring off just a little bit to do a bit of a drop. And then I have got some extra colours here, which will be doing some piping on the top here. This colour here, it is one I've just finished off doing. It is Magic Violet, I think it's called. It's from a company who initially came out a few years ago spouting that they had some of the best micas on the market. I got them in, they were not very good, but this was one of the very few colours I could actually get to work, so I did keep that. I've just used the last of it. This one here is my favourite purple. We've got some Eminence in there, and then finally I have some titanium dioxide in this one. We only need a little amount, and I've probably poured off too much, so I'm going to pour some of that back in there. I'm going to pop my stick blender into the white, just so we can mix that one up first. Into my main bucket here I have got some Olive Grove mica, so I kind of want the bottom of my soap to really represent the cedar, and then we'll have that wild sage on the top with some piping. Now with the soap that I'm doing for the top, I'm not going to put any fragrance oil in it, because I do find that adding fragrance oil to my piping can affect how nicely it pipes, because it does strange things to soap. Let's get these colours mixed in. Alright, so I've got my fragrance here, this wild sage and cedar. It is quite dark in colour, so I hope it's not going to affect my soap too much. I've only put a little bit into this green because I am going to pour some of it into the main soap, but I am going to do the piping as well. And as I said, I really just don't want the fragrance oil affecting how my piping works. It can do one or two things. It can either make it set up really hard and fast, and then it's too crumbly and you can't pipe with it, and then other times it stays really fluid, and as you start piping you think it's at the right consistency, you start doing the piping and then it just goes all fluid again, and it just takes forever. I've had fragrances like that where it takes me forever to do any form of piping, so I don't tend to put it in there. This one is smelling really, in the bottle, this one smells really faint, which is why I discounted it as being one of my perfume ranges. I did try it in a custom order of beard balm, and it really didn't smell, they wanted a cedar smell, and it really didn't have that strong cedar smell that I was hoping it would have. It is quite soft and gentle, and it's got almost like a sweet tang to it. I don't know why that is. I should actually go and re-look at what the fragrance notes are in this one. Just going to grab the soap that's spilt down the side while I was pouring it, but this is so far looking pretty good. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is wipe up my mess that I've created. let's grab the mold here. Might keep this quite simple on the inside. I've just got a bit of soap there from a soap scraping or something, I don't know. There's a little piece in there, it's out. I think I'm just going to pour all of this in. Oh, it's stayed beautiful and fluid. Let's get our bucket scraped out. Alright, just so I'm not tempting fate. Oh no, it's still nice and fluid. I'm just going to do a really simple drop pour in here, I think. Keep it nice and simple and clean. Maybe look like some trunks from off cedar trees. I don't know. Be creative. Was meant to save myself back a lot more of that green. Oops. I always have this thing about I save back way too much when I'm saving for piping. I'm thinking, oh no, don't save too much, and I always put it all in there. Oh well, we might have to make up just a little bit more once we get the top of this done. This is really, really fluid, so I'm just going to very gently push that to the back. I'm almost tempted to put the hanger through it, but I think it is just so fluid, I might ruin it. But, oh, I don't know. Do I want drops or do I want swirls? Let's go for drops, because I don't often do drops. It's one of those days where I can't decide what I want to achieve. Anyhow, this lot here, I'm going to get into some piping bags, and then we'll be back once this is set up to pipe the top. Okay, so we're ready to start piping. I've got the white in here in just a standard open star tip, and then in this bag here I've mixed the two purples together, and I've got a closed star 2D, and what I'm going to do with it is just basically do some like little rosettes. Now I mix the two purples together just to try and get a little bit of two-tone sort of thing happening. I did leave an awful lot of purple, so I'm going to be really quite generous. This is probably also just a little bit too soft still, so I might just leave it for another 5 minutes. But before I come back and do some more piping, in this bag I've got the green, and because I did save so much purple, I scooped a little bit of it out, mixed some more green mica in, and I now have this beautiful emerald green sort of swirled in with the other green, so we'll get a two-tone leaf effect. But I do need to let this purple set up just a little bit more, just to get a little bit more definition on these rosettes. So I'll just let it sit here, and we'll come back in a second and we'll finish it off. Alright, so I was starting to think I'd saved way too much for the piping, but I actually don't have that much left over, so I will just pop what I have got left over in a couple of little heart molds, which I give away with orders. I've just given a bit of a spritz with some bronze sparks just to try and bring some of that brown from the bottom up into the top, and now I'm going to bring you down for a closer look. Okay, so there is the top of Wild Sage and Cedar. I absolutely love how that has come together. Really pleased I changed my mind at the last minute and decided to do some piping on this one. Gonna leave it set overnight and we'll be back shortly and we'll take a look at the inside. Okay, it is time to cut into our Wild Sage and Cedar, and it is looking lovely there. The purple has really popped as it's saponified. You can see, when looking at it with the naked eye, you can see the two different tones of purple. It's very, very faint, but it does give it a really nice look. Just getting that lined up to make sure we get some nice end pieces. Make sure that's also nice and even so we get some proper cut bars there. And let's go through. Thunk goes Ida, and let's take a look at what drops. Oh, we got in that. That's definitely some drops, but I can see on the next piece we've got a little bit more interest going there. Really like how that's come up. Oh, and look at the... you get to see the front and I get to see what the back looks like. So those drops are getting even better as we go along the bar of soap here. I really do love how that Sahara mica, it just really shines. It's got such a beautiful color in soap, and against that green, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Just give it a quick smell. It is actually, the fragrance is there. Again, it's another one of these sort of mild fragrances that is perfect for those that don't want a heavily scented soap bar, but it's got this beautiful clean fresh aroma, and that is the top of the bar. So we've got that really nice little, I can't talk, we've got that really nice field of wild sage, or what I'm interpreting to be wild sage, on the top there. So really pleased with how it has come together. And hopefully as it sits here and cures, the smell will either intensify in it, or it will definitely actually hold there. If you follow along on Instagram or Facebook, I will give updates on this one once it is ready and off onto the shelf. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me today as I made the Wild Sage and Cedar soap. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. And until the next video comes out, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.